Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I feel good today. You ever have those days where you just kind of get up and for some reason you just feel freaking good? It's like you don't hurt. You just feel like you have energy. You're doing stuff. It's like, today's that day. I feel good. And I don't know why. I mean, you kind of wish you felt this way every day. Unfortunately, it's not always as good. I mean, I am blessed when I wake up. Don't take me wrong. Every day is a blessing. But today's just one of those days where it's like, I don't know what the hell happened, but I just feel good. I went and I did my 7-mile walk, fast, do my thinking, get my head together, getting ready for this show, because this show is a soapbox show. Unfortunately, I'm going to be doing some bitching today, and I'm probably going to piss some people off, but this is the way I feel. It's a good thing, because again, I talk about things that people don't want to talk about. Welcome to the Peter G Show. I'm Peter G, the greatest TV show, divorce and single parenting guy out there. Because I talk about stuff. I'm not filling your head full of happy-pappy bullshit. We talk about real life. We talk about things that are kind of hard to talk about. That's what I do. Because the problem I had was I was sick of people talking about, oh, you got to stay positive. You do need to stay positive. But you have to learn how to take the good with the bad. That's why I'm here. Hi, I'm Peter. I love you guys. I love people. I want to thank everybody for the support. I mean, life, the show, not easy. I started with nothing. Still, in my opinion, have nothing. But see, the beauty of it is right now I can do whatever I want to do. Nobody tells me what to do. I don't have to answer to anybody. You know, like those guys, a couple of them, they challenge me. But the bottom line is, you know, it free enterprise until I have to conform, which I don't mind doing. But I promise you, when we take this to another level, which we're going to talk about real quick, when we take this to another level, I'm still going to be me, because if I can't be who I am to do what we're doing, I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. The only guy I know how to be is me. That's the beauty of it. I mean, my whole life, the worst thing about me was I couldn't be phony. I'm a crappy actor. I'm either really good or I'm really bad. And I can't smile at you and like tell you like everything's going to be okay if it's not going to be okay. I mean, life is what it is. But anyway, I do whatever I do because it feels right. So there's so many things going on with this show right now. And again, it's all because of you guys. And I love you for it. But I got some questions to ask for you, because I've been looking at a lot of things. Live streaming to me is going to be a big deal. Do you want to see me do more like just turn it on and go, stripped down version? Doesn't have to be all the fancy foo-foo, just life. Do you want to see that? Or do you want to just see a reality show? Do you want to see behind the scenes, how we make it work? Because I've had like a few different directions. I have executive producers and like show people trying to figure out what to do. And to me, there's 3 ways to go. Live streaming, I think, is going to be a big deal. Reality has always been a big deal. And your talk show, audience, whole deal. I think they're all great formats. Problem is, I don't know which one I want to do. Can we do a little of both? Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you like or what you don't like. I'm just pretty much open book. I mean, it is what it is. But I appreciate you because you've been watching, sharing. You got to make this thing grow. The reviews on the YouTubes on certain things have been off the hook, and I appreciate that. I want to take it to another level, though, and we're getting ready to do that. The problem is there's all these legalities. This is where the corporate baloney comes in, where, I want to just shoot myself because, you just want to just can't we just do this? But it's a lot more complicated than that. But it will be successful. I am taking it there, and it will be to where it still stays the way I want it to be. Helpful, honest. Funny, there's some jokes in there. I want more stupid stuff. I mean, stupid is, life is too short to not laugh. Because we're going to cry. But we're going to laugh. And I want to laugh more than I want to cry. But anyway, I appreciate it. I say what I feel. Again, I'm getting ready to do something right now that the reason I'm telling you all this because this is where I'm going to start, ticking a few people off and whatever. Love me or hate me. Women, more so than anybody. I mean, there's a couple of guys. There's not a couple, but there's some guys. But women, do you love me or do you hate me? Because the ones that love me are probably watching more than the ones that hate me. The ones that hate me, I'm not a guy-oriented show, but if you're not paying enough attention, you might think because I'm a guy that I'm like coinciding with the guys. I'm not. I'm all about people who give a crap about their children. That's who I am. I care about kids. I love kids. Kids are just, every time, because my daughter she's 11, but you might as well say she looks like she's 15 and acts like she's 15 or 16. She just carries herself well, and she's growing so quick. And I just see this, and every time I like seeing women or guys with these little girls or little boys, and man, those are great years. They go by so quick. And again, my ex, the one great thing she said to me when we were almost happy was, she's only going to be little for a very short time. And God bless her, she was right. I kind of love to bathe in those older, more infant years. They were just like cute, beautiful. But I'm happy with what I've got. And the reason I'm happy with what I've got is because I've helped to mold that. Now, again, I can't say it enough. Everybody's wired differently. Some people aren't as lucky. I am very blessed. I scathed through some very rough times that could have been detrimental to my daughter. But she did very well. She fair weathered this crap because it was bad. And I'm very thankful. But a lot of it, I was very conscious of it. I never forgot that my purpose now is to protect and make sure that she's going to grow up to be a decent human being. And we still have a long way to go, but so far so good. I don't care, when she's 13 to 15, 17, the hormones. I get it. Everybody's been writing in, Peter, you just wait. I get it. I'm cool with that, though. We're okay. Whatever happens, happens. I will do the best I can, and that's all you can do, so long as you're trying to do the best you can. So anyway, this one's for the ladies. Okay, this show today is for the women because I was sent by numerous people. Go figure. This little thing that I'm getting ready to unveil, and this happened a while back, and I've just been it's been simmering because we've been doing so many other things. Again, we just do whatever we do. I get these emotional skips, and then from great interviews with other people to just doing stuff by myself, or Crazy Edward, God knows he's out of control. But he's good, and so long as I can keep him from getting arrested, I'll keep putting him out there, a man on the street. But he's just young, and man, oh man, he reminds me of me, only not as crazy, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so I want to get started, and this is something that was sent to me by several women, and the thing is, I'm going to pick it apart, because I get what you're saying, ladies, but we have to discuss this, okay? Because the world is not perfect. And you guys sending me this stuff and going, oh, how beautiful this is the way it should be, and yeah, I friggin' get it. But unfortunately, it's not always like that, okay? Just keep that in mind, because again, I'm not your enemy, I'm with you. We just have to understand that it doesn't always work out in the perfect world. Hence, the Peter G. Show. Greatest TV divorce show and single parenting guy, period. Because I love kids and your children. They need to grow up to be decent human beings. So without further ado, let's go to Exhibit A, shall we? This was sent to me, and I'm going to break it down. And here's this guy who's dressed up nicely. Oh, by the way, Marianne was she from Indiana, Ty? Marianne from Indiana was writing, Peter, you wore a suit once in a while. Why don't you wear a suit? I don't have to wear a suit. It's like, that's my show. I can sit here in my underwear if I want to. And if you want to watch it, great. But you are kind of hot, and I do respect your opinion, so I put a suit on again. Again, you know why I wore so many suits? Because I was a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. I had to go and buy suits because I was growing as a person anyway, from what little few I had, but I went to divorce court so much that I had to represent myself well. And then I found out that I can actually wear a suit and not look so bad. I mean, suits are cool, but I don't like wearing ties so much. I mean, I don't mind for the occasion. And if I get a show that requires me to wear a suit, I'll wear a suit. I got no problem with that for a few hours. I just don't want to live in one. Life is too short. I am who I am. But anyway, Marianne, this is for you. And thank you. So anyway, here's this guy, and I want you to pay attention up here, okay? Here's this guy, and this video that was sent to me, it's just like 20, I don't know, whatever it was, and it's got, this piano music playing behind it. I'm not even going to play any music behind it. Like, screw it. We're going to pick this apart. We're going to talk about it. Here's this guy. It says, it's my ex-wife's birthday today. Okay? Great. Here he is. Sir cares a lot. Let's call him that. Sir cares a lot. Okay? Because, again, I get it, but we're going to talk about it. So I got up early and brought flowers and a card and a gift over for the kids to give to her and help them make her breakfast. Okay, now I get it when you have little children, because when my daughter was very little, it was still Mother's Day, it was still her birthday, it was still Christmas. I mean, I'm not a selfish douchebag, okay? I get it's for the children. These occasions, what you do and how you bring them up is going to be influential on who they are in the future. I totally get it. I thank my mother and father for all these things. Okay? So, the problem is now, in this day and age, everybody's divorced. That's the big problem. So again, I get it. When my daughter was very, very little, it's like, okay, despite the fact that we are been battling and going to war, and I hated her guts because of what, from a person who I would have died for, I want to kill, is still my little girl, and that's her mother. So what do we do in Christmas? Like, let's go get your mommy a card. Let's go do this. Okay, I get it. So this guy, Sir cares a lot. He got up early. He bought flowers and a card and a gift over for the kids to give her, and he helped them make breakfast. Now, I don't know about the breakfast part because, again, maybe he's in a better situation. With me, I couldn't pull up to my own driveway of my own house because she wasn't having it. She wanted me to pull up on the street to pick up my little girl, and that's when I gave her the big F.U. You know what? You can forget me coming to the house. You can come meet me at a mutual spot. Hence, the exchange spot, which really sucked. But that's the way it goes. Now, this guy, Sir cares a lot. He obviously is in a better position to where he can come home to the ex's house, which might have been his house. Doesn't matter, okay? I don't care about that. Who makes more money, who this and that. The bottom line is, it's her birthday, and he's going to buy her flowers and a card, and he's going to, go over there and help them make breakfast, okay? Per usual, someone asked me why the hell I still do things for her all the time. I get it. Now, who's asking that? Now, it depends. Are you a doormat? Or are you just doing these things because it's the occasion and you want to set a good example for the kids? I mean, because here's the thing. I used to stop everything I did when my wife at the time, even girlfriend, when she needed something, I would do it. I'd cancel a session or I'd rearrange my schedule or something because I loved her. She was everything to me at the time. Good or bad. And that's what I do because that's the way I'm wired. You do these things for the people you love. So, okay, The problem was, once all the hell broke loose and she decided to choose war over peace, homie, don't play that. It was over. I stopped jumping through hoops because she didn't give a shit enough about anything except taking me to court. So I'm done. So it's like, you know what? What you used to get out of me and what you get out of me now is two different worlds. So Sir Cares a Lot over here, right there, you know, somebody's asking him, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for that bitch or bastard? I mean, it goes both ways. Again, male, female. I'm just pointing out because these women sent this to me and it happens to be a guy doing this, okay? Because it should go both ways. Period, end of story. So, as we move on. And so Sir Cares a Lot here says, this annoys me, so I'ma break it down for you. So he's talking in, what do you call that? Ebonics. I'ma break it down for y'all. So he must be from the South. Sir Cares a Lot. Regardless, the bottom line is, this annoys him. Okay? So he's getting ready to break it down, and I'm going to talk about it. So let's move on. I'm raising two little men. So obviously he has two little boys. Okay? Cool. I had a little girl. You get boys. It is what it is. Now, again, the bottom line is that you just raise your kids to be decent human beings. So I get what he's saying. I'm on his side. But I still have a few little rebuttals. Not many, but I get what he's saying. We just have to explore the outer edges of it, because if you watch this little video, it's just too pussy whipped. I mean, it's just again, I get these women sending me this, and it was multiple women that sent this, how beautiful it is. This is the way it should be. Yeah, I get this is the way this should be, but it doesn't always happen like this, ladies. I wish. Okay? I'm in the club. I want to. I'm a pretty good guy. But it doesn't always happen this way. Sometimes you just want to run your ex over with a steamroller because they've driven you to that point. Now, you don't do that because common sense says no bueno. But this is why I'm picking this apart, okay? I'm on your side. Again, and the couple of women that sent this to me, they're really good-looking women. I get it, and you want this romance, and I get it, but marriage is hard. It's definitely a give and take, and that's cool, but when you love somebody, that's what you do. Instead of saying, I quit, the minute there's a problem, you're just pissed off, and you're going, oh, I'm done. Life is worth living. So anyway, Sir Cares a Lot right here says, I'm raising two little men. The example I set for how I treat their mom, I get it. If you're the get drunk and you beat the shit out of her because you're an idiot, well then you should be in jail or just put a bullet in your head. Okay? But it goes both ways, because unfortunately at the end of my relationship, mine started getting very aggressive to where she was getting pretty close to violent. And it just blew me out of the water. And it changes you as a person. So I know you have to set this example because, again, my biggest thing is I will never have, actually, we'll get to that. I don't even want to tell you this. Let's move on. So, Cuz wants to set an example for how he treats their mom. Because he loved her. At one point, he loved the hell out of her. But they are no longer together. Okay? Is going to significantly shape how they see and treat women. So how he treats her, obviously, is going to significantly shape how they see and treat women. No brainer. I get it. Okay? I get it. And boys are so different than girls. You know what I mean? It's a whole different ideology, and yes, they need to be good guys. They need to grow up to be Guys who care about how they treat women. I'm in. So far, we're all in cahoots, okay? Let's pay attention right here again. And affect their perception of relationships. Yes. And you know what? Girls too, more than anything. Girls, I'm so sick and tired of daddy issues. This is what I was trying to hold back on. Now I can't. Because as an older guy now, I see these women who are older and young and old, and the daddy issues, and what they do is, instead of relationships, they bury themselves in animals. And I love animals, okay? But you're not. I can't live at a rescue resort where because animals are so. My ex, she loves animals. She takes in too many pets because they just love you. They don't judge you. But you know what? You can't. I mean, yeah. I guess you can sleep on it with a pet in your bed, but it's not the same. But that's the problem. I see these people, adults, giving up on humanity, like human beings, men and women, and all of a sudden they just become these rescue people. And there's nothing wrong with that. God bless you guys, okay? But as well as I do. My daughter said to me the other day, because she's hanging around a lot of older women at the barn where her horse is at, and she says, I could deal without humans, animals. In other words, she likes being around the animals because they just don't give you a bunch of shit. But she's echoing from what she's hearing around there. And and I talked to her, I looked at her and I said, we are who we are, and human beings, you have to socialize. You can't just disconnect yourself. I said, I love people. I mean, I do. This is why I love entertainment. I love people. But you can't disassociate yourself and bury yourself in animals, dogs, horses. I mean, you can do that. You still need to have a male-female relationship. If you don't want to, that's your choice. But I mean, that's how it normally goes, and there's a reason for that. But a lot of people just get so fed up, and they just disconnect because you're weak, and you go, you know what? I don't want to get hurt, and so be it. So anyway, Sir Cares a Lot here says it affects their perception of relationships, and yes, again, I agree. I think even more so in my case because we're divorced. Bingo! Because we're divorced. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you should be doing this stuff if you're in a relationship. But if you're divorced, life is tougher. So, okay, he's cool enough. Obviously, he has a better relationship, this fictional baloney I'm talking about right now, but there are some people that are lucky enough. I wish I was that guy. I keep striving to be, but it takes two. It takes two. And mine won't put that wall down and say, okay, enough is enough. She forgets all the years, and there was many, many years of happiness, of to die for, of, oh, thank God for this, and oh, thank God for Peter that. It is what it is. So, there's this wall. So, Sir Cares a Lot feels that because they're divorced, he needs to set this example even more. No shit. Good on his part, though, because some people just say screw it, and they just, take the same attitude, and they just say, you know what, you're an asshole, I don't want to be around you, and when you're venting, your children are around you, they pick up on everything. They feel it, they hear it, they're very smart. I don't care how old they are. Whether you have teenage kids, adult kids, or infant kids, they're really smart. And this all goes into their heads and becomes who they become. So, if you aren't modeling good relationship behavior for your kids, get your S together. Okay, he's got a very valid point. Regardless of what your situation is, you have to rise above it to be the better person. Again, I say this, yes, but it takes two. I mean, you can do it. I mean, my divorce attorney, I went through hell. I went through hell, and he kept looking at me going, you need to keep wearing the white hat. I was sick of wearing the white hat because I was drug in month after month for frivolous bullshit, baloney stuff into court just to keep, she just kept needling because she had nothing else but needling. And it really gets to you. And he says, but you're winning. And I didn't feel like I was winning. I was just being, it was just honest. I did nothing wrong. But some people just feel like you have to fight a war. And again, it was nonsense, but it affects you to where you go, you know what? What I used to do for you and what I do for you now it's just two different worlds. And I never thought I'd be that way. I never thought I'd be able to look at a human being, a person that you love so much to even have a child with. This was no accident. We got married and we had a baby because we decided we were going to have a baby. And we had this beautiful little girl. And out of all the good that came with it, it just all went to hell. And it rides your brain. It rides your brain big time. And it's like, and there we are, from wanting to, again, die for each other to wanting to kill each other. And it sucks. But that's the whole thing. It's like, homie doesn't play. I don't, whatever you do, I finally had to make a decision. It's like, I love this little girl. I thank God for this little girl. But until you want to be normal again and say, you know what, we had a great relationship, but things fell apart, and I'm sorry, but okay, can't we be normal again? Which I keep trying. It just doesn't work. I've stopped trying to reach out because some people you just can't reach. Ladies, it doesn't always work that way. I wanted it to work that way, but what do you do when it doesn't? Okay, it is beautiful. What you sent me is beautiful. Get your shit together. Well, maybe you should relay that to the other party, whether it's male or female. Get your shit together. Start thinking about more than just you. It doesn't always work that way. So this is where I have this problem. It's like, yes, I understand what you're sending me. It doesn't always work that way. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And that's it. Get your shit together. Rise above it and be an example. I tried. And again, but there's just times when, and still to this day, I can't help it. Sometimes I make these snide remarks, and my daughter, I don't know what she's thinking. She knows, because when your child gets old enough, they kind of see who's doing what and how they're doing it, Going to school, my daughter sets her own alarm at her house with her mother, because she needs to make sure she wakes up in case her mother doesn't wake her up. When she's here with me at our house, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm up an hour and a half before I ever wake her up. It's just the way it is, because I refuse to ever let my daughter get to school late. And therefore, I can see the difference. Again, I'm not saying she's a bad person. She's a great mother. She loves her daughter very much. But I make sure, because I've always been this guy, and she was taking me to court, trying to make me to be somebody who I wasn't. And it's like, why are you doing this? Sometimes we just do things out of hate and spite and anger, a lot of anger. And that's where I just drew the line. It's like, you can't hang me for this. I'll never let you hang me for somebody who I'm not. And you know it, and I know it, and that's why I am bitching about this little thing. It doesn't always work this way. But through all of it, I am being a good example. And I hope you're being a good example, because that's the thing, people, okay? Because especially the guys, because you're probably, and the women, because there's a lot of shit women too, okay? So if you're that guy who has to keep after your ex because she just has been a waste, or if you're that woman who has to keep after your ex because he's just a piece of crap, well, you need to set the good example regardless. Don't put all the crap into your kid's head. Just deal with it and keep on pushing forward. I guess that's my point. What else has he got to say? This is bigger than you. Again, absolutely correct, people. This is bigger. But the problem is, it all becomes about you. you. Me. It's not. You got this little face or these little faces. You brought them into this world. Don't be a shit. This is bigger than you. So in a lot of ways, I'm in very much agreement with this, but I just felt I wanted to talk about this because it just makes me crazy. It just makes me crazy because when you watch it, it just seems so polished baloney. And I just felt I wanted to break it down and let's really talk about it a little bit more. I'm that guy I am not Mr. Frolic through the garden and life is going to be okay. I wish it was that simple. God, I wish it was that simple. This is bigger than you. Raise good men, raise strong women. Well, okay, you got me on that one too. Yes, you don't want to raise little boys to be bullies and pushovers and pushing women and just no respect for women. Women are awesome. God bless women. I love women. I can't say it enough. To me, if you can have a partner that you can just grow in life with, so how much better do you want it than that? I mean, yeah, we've all had our fun and you get our life's experiences and stuff like that. But I'll tell you one thing, this little girl that I have, raised strong women, absolutely. The daddy issues. If I've lost count of, I'm so friggin' sick and tired. I've seen grown adult, almost, middle-aged, overaged women who still can't get it together. They're damaged. And it sucks. It's like it doesn't have to be that way. Strong women. I'm raising my little girl, I hope, or at least I'm doing the best I can to be not too independent where she doesn't need anybody, but for where she has faith in humanity. She's confident and doesn't worry about what other people think, although I know she's going to. But she just does how she feels and just doesn't let it change her to the point to where you just become this recluse and just also worried about that of somebody else's opinion. And so far, again, I know she's only 11, almost 12, but she's an old soul. And it starts right there. It's kind of like a puppy. How you bring up a puppy the first year, you get what you get. Well, with a child, it's a little bit different. Same basic principle. And to me, my biggest investment, the most important thing I could possibly do. Strong women. Confident, not weak. We all, we're just humans. What you look like and what you do, you can't help it, okay? It is what it is. But you're still a human being. You can be a good human being. You don't have to be an asshole. Please, the world needs them now more than ever. I can't say that enough. I keep telling you guys, my daughter is going to grow up with your kids, and they all need to learn to play well together. I've said that a million times. I say a lot of things repeatedly because there's a lot of new people coming into the show, and I can't say that enough. We have a world. Is the world not tough enough? What are you going to do to make a living nowadays? God knows. Everything is changing, which, again, even with this show, television. There's going to be not television like the way we used to watch it. When I grew up as a child, my daughter's age, there was like 6 television channels. And then cable came in. And now there's hundreds of channels. I don't even know where to begin. Things are changing. They need to be decent human beings. I don't know how they're all going to make a living and what technology is going to do, but it all starts with having your head together. Male and female. This is my mother. She passed away almost a year ago. 93 years old. Almost made it 94. I owe her everything. She gave me the things she gave me. She taught me how to sew a button. My mother was a seamstress. She could do and make anything. But she taught me to write thank you cards. It took her years and years and years. As a child, my godmother or people would send me things. You need to call them. Call and say thank you. It took years. She pushed until we made the call. And, because I was too busy running around. But as I got into my 20s, and then, I started all of a sudden just doing it all on my own. Because she taught me these things. My mother. I'm so grateful and thankful. My mother's gone now, but she's right here. Always. And I try to instill that. That was the beautiful thing about taking my daughter to Florida. It's like, even though my mother was pretty, she couldn't walk anymore, and she wasn't the person she used to be, but you instill these and you pass the knowledge. And I keep telling her, and because my daughter was very little when my mother was still kind of functional, but you just pass these stories and you instill this into your children. That was my mother. I owe everything to my mother, because part of her, and a very big part of her, is who I am. My father, who's still alive, he's going to be 91 very soon. I owe another portion to him. Now, in a lot of ways, I feel like sometimes I have more of my mother than I do my father, but I love my father very much. There's no who loves who more. But I owe my father very much too. He taught me a lot of things. There's things that your mother... That's why you need this balance, people. You can't just do it on your own. Some people don't have a choice, okay? Whether you're widowed, things happen. I get it. You do the best you can. My mother's father passed away when she was 11. My daughter's 11. I can't even imagine leaving her right now. But I'm very thankful. My father, God bless him. Again, we argue. I love my father. I love my father. My father did the best he could, as old school as he was. And there's my daughter. She's photobombing us. But, again, balance. And the reason I am who I am today is because I have this little girl. See that smile? Because there's a guy right here who loves that child more than anything in the entire universe. And I love all kinds of people. I love people. But that little girl has to grow up to be decent. And it all came from my upbringing. So you get what you put into it. It's just the way it is. And that's it, I think. Sometimes I feel like my show gets more male-oriented, but it's not. There's a lot of women. I do women shows, but it all depends on who wants to participate. I mean, sometimes the interviews, I don't line them up. It's just kind of the way it works right now. Again, we do what we do. We're throwing things at the wall. Whatever sticks, sticks. I'm pro-male and pro-female when it comes to taking care of your children. That's all I care about, is how you take care of your kids. And I'm trying to help you keep your head on straight. Just based on discussions and interviews from other people, you take what we're saying. I'm not telling you what to do because I can't. Well, I can, but it doesn't matter. You're going to take what you take. I'm just hoping that when you take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that. That's how I learned from everything in life. I mean, even playing music as a drummer, I learned from this drummer and that drummer and this drummer. I took that little bitty piece that he played and I became me. The good stuff, not the bad stuff. Unfortunately, we take a lot of the bad stuff too. Very thankful to have parents. Not everybody's that lucky. But you know what? Even if you're not that lucky, don't blame it on because you didn't have parents. You have every opportunity to be a decent human being. So, to sum it all up, because this show I really felt was for the ladies. Do you love me? Or do you hate me? I mean, what do you think about me? Why I do what I do and what I say? Because I'm doing it for you. Because it's like I love women. I think women, it's the way it is. I always wanted to have a great partner in life to grow with. And it just didn't work that way at one time. I mean, I've had many girlfriends and things like that. But now you get to a certain point, it's like, life is short. Time is moving on. So I know I say a lot of things that are uncomfortable, but if I don't say these things, it's like then I'm just lying to you and we're just making believe. And I don't do that, not on this show. That's why I can do this show. I'm not going to, I can fill you full of shit, but that's your typical idiot, boyfriend. Guy that you date for a week or 2, month, 6 months. Then it's like, oh, he completely fooled me. You know what I mean? Then he's an asshole. I'm not that guy. I speak the truth. or at least what I feel is the truth. It's just my opinion. Sometimes you might not like what I say, but the beauty of it is I can say what I feel, and this is the way I feel, and I'm not being anybody but me. So I ask you, ladies, do you love me or do you hate me? Let me know. I respect it both ways. Maybe you'll learn to love me because you pay more attention and not just pick what you want to hear and hear the whole thing. But I just have to put it out there, okay? I want to thank everybody. And don't forget to like and share the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the iTunes, LinkedIn's. Read the reviews on the YouTubes. A lot of the interviews, and they're all worth it. Whether it's an interview that has 1 million views or one that has 100 views, I promise you every story is worthy. You just didn't get to it, and they're worth looking into. I am going to push forward. We are growing. We're going to get bigger and better, and it's going to get more difficult to be this relaxed, or there's going to be a format, there's going to be a flow, and they're going to make me do things and this and that. But I still promise you, I am who I am. I won't do it any other way. I guess I'm too old, and I hate saying it. Never did I ever think I'd be saying the phrase, I'm too old for this shit. But I am. I've made it this far. I've survived. I'm still going to always be me. But I'm being me because that's all I know how to be. But I'm doing it also for your benefit. I want to make you happy. I want to make you laugh. I love making people laugh. I think there's a lot of great stuff out there that's funny. But we have to talk about the hard stuff too. Tell me what you want me to do. Tell me what you like most. Tell me what you don't like, because I'm getting ready to shift gears. After this summer season is over, there's a lot of different things coming down the pipe, whatever. So long as I have the freedom to do what I want to do, I'm just throwing stuff out there. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for hating me. Tell me what you feel, because I know there's a big crowd out there, but it's really weird the way that people watch. But I want to just make yourself visible. That's all I ask, okay? I'm Peter G. You're watching The Peter G Show. I can't thank you enough for being here. We're going to keep going. We're growing. Life is good. I'm very thankful every day, and I love you guys. Thanks for watching The Peter G Show. Peace out.
Peter G Show.